So here we are with the Hindu न्यूज़पेपर, और इस बार है हम लोग वोकेबलरी करने के लिए न्यूज़पेपर के दिल्ली एडिशन को हमने लिया हुआ है, और इसमें हेडलाइंस को देखेंगे, और हेडलाइंस में उन हेडलाइंस को देखेंगे वेयर इन वी डू हैव सम ऑफ द डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स। डिफिकल्ट मेरे लिए नहीं, डिफिकल्ट मुझे तो मोस्टली सारे वर्ड्स आते हैं, बट शायद आपके लिए कुछ डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स हो सकते हैं। उन डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स को वी विल बी जस्ट ट्राई टू हैव इट्स यूजेस, इट्स मीनिंग, define, understand from various softwares and the tool that we have. तो पहले अपना इंट्रोडक्शन दें आप।
Yes, I'm Srijal Bharti and I'm 10 years old
Yeah.
and I'm going in grade 5.
Okay, that's good. So we will be going through this Hindu newspaper on a daily basis, and with this word हमारे पास application है that's going to help us out is a world map dictionary, which is going to give up the uses of the words in the various forms. Then we do have a very good two websites. We do have the Tenor and the Youglish, which will talk about the words. इसमें GFs आएंगे हमारे उन words के related, और इसमें उसके uses आएंगे words के related.
Yes.
Got it? And उसके बाद it will be telling us how the use of the words are there with the pronunciation correct. And for the pronunciation, then we do have Elsa Speak, and Elsa Speak will help us in order to pronounce the word and the various uses has been done into the Youglish. तो हम इन सारे के मदद से we will try to have the word captured that has come into the today's Delhi edition of the Hindu newspaper for some of the difficult words from the headlines. Headlines तो हमारे पास बहुत सारे हैं, but we have only chosen some of them. So let's start. The first one, Birbhum deaths. CBI takes over probe after SC order. So any idea what probe is?
Probe. I think it's telling something about takes the in charge.
Charge takes over charge. Yeah, SC High Court. High Court is ordering, and CBI is going to take over probe. It's a charge, but let's see what it is, and then we'll see its uses. Probe, P-R-O-B-E. Here. So probe is an investigation conducted using flexible surgical instrument or to explore an injury in a body. So some sort of investigation, not only related to the surgical instrument or the exploration, but an investigation or an exploratory action or expedition.
Yes.
Okay, जहाँ पे explore और expedition से इसका मतलब होता है. It's also used as a noun form, a flexible slender surgical instrument. एक noun form में भी use होता है, verb form में भी use होता है. An inquiry into unfamiliar or a questionable activities. If there is some question about that is not very much clear, तो उसके बारे में एक inquiry बेटा, जैसे question कैसा क्यों हुआ उसको जानने के लिए, ठीक है, और द क्वेश्चन. सो समथिंग लाइक इन्वेस्टिगेशन इज प्रोमिनेंट एंड इट्स अ फॉर्म ऑफ अ नाउन ऑल्सो, जहाँ पे कोई चीज़ ऐसे हम भेजते हैं स्पेस में जो कि वहाँ चीज़ों के बारे में जांचता है, जानने की कोशिश करता है. इट्स अ प्रोब, सो इट्स सॉर्ट ऑफ अ इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग टूल, ठीक है. तो नाउन फॉर्म, वर्ब फॉर्म. तो नाउ टेल मी, वीरभूम डेथ्स, CBI takes over probe after High Court order. What do you understand?
So CBI takes over investigation.
Yes, it's CBI is going to investigate after High Court has given an order onto the Birbhum. Birbhum is in which state?
Is in Birbhum.
It's in West Bengal.
West
Okay, so this is done with the word form. Now we do have the tenor. Let's see the various probe related words. So probe related GF जो हमारे पास आए हैं, it's a question, it's an investigation. Probe, suspend your choice. Investigation, it's a और सस्पेंशन, इट्स योर चॉइस इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ यूज. यहाँ पे कुछ क्लियर नहीं आकर के आ रहा है, बट मी यूजिंग द प्रोब टू फाइंड हु आस्क्ड. ओके, सो यहाँ पे एक मीनिंग क्लियर निकल करके आ रहा है फ्रॉम द वेबसाइट टेनो. यहाँ पे सारे एनिमेटेड GIFs मिलते हैं, और इसमें से GIFs जो हैं वन ऑफ द रिलेटेड वन फॉर द प्रोब जो मुझे समझ में आया. आई एम यूजिंग द प्रोब टू फाइंड आउट हु आस्क्ड. इट्स अगेन अ क्वेश्चन, ठीक है. Now let's see the Youglish website, which will give me some of the words wherein in YouTube the probe is used. Almost 5,200 words it is identified, और इसमें हमें देखते हैं कि कौन कौन से words हमारे कैसे कैसे यूज हो रहे हैं in the form of a noun, in the form of a verb, ठीक है. So let's go the first one. And literally engaged in to probe the adjacent possible. To investigate.
Yes.
Okay, or to inquire, to understand. See.
and literally engage them to probe the adjacent possible, right? To gnaw. And literally engage them to probe the adjacent possible.
Okay, and now comes Elsa speak. यहाँ पे we'll try a new word and we'll try to speak. First, it's your turn.
And literally engage them to probe the adjacent possible.
Let's see.
Was it?
Oh, sorry.
And was it key? Yes. And literally engage them to probe the adjacent possible.
I'm literally engaged there to prove the isn't possible.
Prove. अब यहाँ पे देखते हैं probe was heard as prove.
And literally engage them to probe the adjacent possible.
Minor correction चाहिए, probe चाहिए. So it's not prove. Okay. Let's hear.
I'm literally engaged there to prove the isn't possible.
I will try. And literally engage them to probe the adjacent possible. What happened? Why didn't it come?
No, it should come. Try again.
And literally engage them to probe the adjacent possible. It's again coming prove.
And literally engage them to prove the adjacent possible.
And literally engage them to probe the adjacent possible. Probe and prove. So we need to practice. Okay. So that was there with the Elsa speak. Next we will see the another one.
Adjacent possible. There's a great line that says once.
So I recently have been using this probe thermometer. Probe is a form of a.
So I recently been using this probe thermometer for.
So in the form of a noun is being used.
We are addicted to probe the unknown.
So it's in the form of an.
We are addicted to.
We'll try this one. Yeah.
We are addicted to probe the unknown.
This time it's right.
Yes.
We are addicted to probe the unknown.
Yeah, this time it's good. Let me try. We are addicted to probe the unknown. We are addicted to probe the unknown. Oh, mine is also fine.
Yes, that's.
We're addicted to probe the unknown.
1%, so it's almost there. So here it's meaning investigate the unknown. Okay, so these were the two uses. Just we will see one more, couple of more, and then we will leave with the word probe. Space probe in the form of a noun.
Surface is heavily cratered, and it still gets hit today. The space probe Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has.
Familiar with the probe, again in the form of a noun.
Familiar with the probe. Giuliani didn't.
Next, I set up the Automatrix Oracle probe in the
Device.
now this one. And how would we get the information back from the probe?
We get the information back from the probe.
How will we get the information back? So there are some theories.
Okay, so it's your turn.
We get the information back from the probe. We get the information back.
You try.
And how would we get the information back from the probe?
Oh, group.
And how would we get the information back from the group?
And how would we get the information back from the probe?
It was clear, distinct, but still it didn't pick up. Okay, let me try. And how would we get the information back from the probe?
Probe, it's correct.
Yeah, and even the question mark is there.
And how could we get the information back from the probe?
And how would we get the information back from the probe? So this one help. Probe is done. Moving to the next word. So it means investigation, okay? Boom, that's CBI takes over, probe after SC order. Next one is
Next one is descent.
decent. Let's see. There are other articles, but no difficult words here. Into today's newspaper, Delica per capita, outrage, nothing. So there. Moving further, BJP sticks tax free, nothing. Yes. Echoes of dissent within LDF over Silver Line project. Now, what do you mean by this word dissent?
Echoes of descent. Echoes of work?
Work.
Not clear with that.
Not clear with that. What is dissent? So this is World Map Dictionary, and the word is the act of protesting, a public manifestation of dissent. Protesting, so dissatisfaction, a difference in opinion, the difference of one judge opinion from that of the majority. There's a difference. I'm saying something, you are saying no, it's not like this, so it's dissent. I don't agree with you.
Yes.
Withhold dissent, okay? And be of a different opinion. I'm of a different, I differ, I disagree from you, okay? I don't agree with you, I have a dissent. Express opposition through action or words. Protest, in the form of protest or the resist also it's used. So this is how the word dissent is there. And here in now, so echoes of dissent, a protest. This is in the form of a, not disapproval, I don't disagreeing, but from the
Many opinions?
yeah, not again many of it, but from the perspective of this one.
Okay.
Not this one, I don't disagree, but this one. Protest, resist, express opposition through action or words. So this is an article, echoes of protest within the LDF over Silver Line project is there, and that's why the policemen, they are beating or they are removing the public over there who are protesting. Okay, so echoes of dissent. We have seen from this one. Now let's see from the GAF. DISCM. So protest or disagree, okay. Inqilab, they are protesting.
Yes.
Okay. No dissent. Okay, I agree with you. Dissent. I don't agree. Dissent develops democracy here. Squashing dissent. Removing all the protesters like the police over here is doing. Okay. They're removing. See, he is also squashing dissent. So this is what the dissent is. Hope it's clear. Now we will see some of the uses of it. Apart from what is there into the
What is there into the newspaper?
yes. So Yuglish will find it out for you. Almost 2,000 uses. We are not going to go all of them.
Yeah.
Only just 3 or 4, and we will try to read those sentences. We will have Elsa speak with us to help us around. So the first one is Geiseric chose to pull back up and move again, but this time to a region mired in chaos and dissent. Dissent, a region marked chaos and dissent. Dissent in the form of not different opinion, but express opinions to protest or region. Okay.
So again it's protest.
थोड़ा स्लो है, but ठीक है.
toll. Geiserik chose to pack up and move again, but this time to a region mired in chaos and dissent and therefore vulnerable to invasion.
Next one. Argue, debate, describe, advocate, and dissent. Dissent, disagree. Debate.
Or the ways by which people argue, debate, describe, advocate, and dissent against weapons, as well as how
For any type of dissent or opposition. Disagree, okay? Or opposition. We'll just see.
For any type of dissent or opposition.
For any type of dissent or opposition.
For any type of dissent or opposition.
For any type of dissent or opposition. I'm emphasizing more on E. We'll just listen to this one once again.
For any type of dissent or opposition.
So dissent is going fluidly. Here I am emphasizing a bit more on E. Type of dissent or opposition. Yeah.
For any type of dissent or opposition.
It's in favor. Yes.
For any type of dissent or opposition.
For any type of dissent or opposition.
Yeah. So that's only the word. Next one moving is
Next one moving
here. So here we do have from the echoes of dissent within LDF, a protest. Okay. So here we have protest. Or we can have disagreement. Next one is let's see what newspaper say. Filmmakers faces flack over Bhopali remark. Now what does flack means?
Flag over Bhopali remark. Means maybe it's an action or face action.
Flack, I also don't know. Let's see from this word map. Flack. It's what everything seems. So, an artillery designed to shoot upwards an airplane. Okay,
This is
from
definitely not that.
that's definitely not that one. Intense adverse criticism. When I'm saying something, I'm rebuking you, I'm criticizing you, I'm telling no, you are wrong over there. This is not the way it has to be done. So intense adverse criticism. Okay, Clinton directed his fire at the Republican. So this was attack or blast, fire, flak. Okay, or a slick spokesperson who can turn any criticism to the advantage. So a form of a criticism, it's being said that is used here. Filmmakers faces flack over Bhopal. Okay, so filmmakers had said something regarding the Bhopali, and now he is facing flack. He is facing criticism from the public around. Okay, criticism means rebuking. They are telling, okay, that's not the thing that needs to be done. Blasting, fire, attack. Not an attack, verbal attack, okay? This is not the way it has to be done. I'm rebuking, I'm telling you, no, they were doing properly wrong. He's facing, what you have said about the Bhopali remark is not good. You did change the statement, okay? So filmmakers over here is facing the heat from the public.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll see here flack, F-L-A-K. It means criticism, sort of. The word is here F-L-A-K. Nothing is shown. This is the artillery, which this was saying. An artillery designed to shoot upward at airplanes. Okay. So tenor GIF shows the artillery being shot upwards from the machine gun. Okay, being fired, the flak, but not the criticism. There is no one who is criticizing. It's complicated, she is telling. Okay. Hey, he is telling it. What you have told? What have you told about the filmmaker's faces over the Bhopali remark? He's criticizing a bit.
Yes.
A bit. Okay. So that is now. Let's see about the flag over here. FLAK. Almost 426 users. We'll try to see the pronunciation of this word. And criticism or something that's been fired is what the intent is. Okay, fly directly over its target and greatly exposing it to enemy flak fire. Now it is criticism or something that is being shot.
Something that has been shot.
Yes.
Fly directly over its target.
The plane had to fly directly over its target, thus greatly exposing it to enemy flak fire. Despite this,
I know that you have got a lot of flack for it. But anyway, I love just the obsession with. So this is good. This is criticism.
Okay. The one that
You have got a lot of criticism from the public over there.
I know that you've caught a lot of flack for it, but anyway, I love just the obsession with getting in the end zone. And what I love about the things that have really...
I have a flak jacket. Something that is being shown. Oh, the flak is being used over here.
Oh no.
Flak intense adverse criticism. A slick spokesperson who can turn criticism to the advantage.
I have a flak jacket. Sometimes this leads to extreme
She means anything.
I certainly honor that commitment.
A flag, I certainly.
And grabbing the flak vest. So flak is jackets in the form. We can see multiple uses. So maybe in that form which is not captured over here.
Yes.
So Chris Christie passed anti-bullying legislation recently and he got a lot of flack. It's in the same line now. Filmmakers faces lot of criticism.
So Chris Christie passed anti-bullying legislation recently, and he got a lot of flack because he did not.
We will say this one.
Okay.
So Chris Christie.
So Chris Christie passed anti-bullying legislation recently and he got a lot of flack because no, luck.
Flag.
I didn't speak it like luck.
So Chris Christie passed anti-bullying legislation recently, and he got a lot of luck because.
So Chris Christie passed anti-bullying legislation recently and he got a lot of flack because flack. It's not luck and billing. It's not bullying, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's your turn. Try.
So, Chris Christie passed an anti-bullying legislation recently and he got a lot of flack because. Yeah, it's not correct.
Oh, yeah, it's flack. Yeah, it's almost you're there. FLACK.
Yeah, I don't want to see.
So Christmas passed an anti-bullying legislation recently, and he got a lot of flack because.
Right, but this Christmas, why the Chris Christie became Christmas?
So, Chris Christie passed an anti-bullying legislation recently and he got a lot of flack because.
Good, great. Okay, so flack. Flack from here it means something strong criticism or anti-aircraft missile fire that we saw. So this is good. From English also you get the meaning.
Passed anti-bullying legislation recently, and he got a lot of flack because he did not set aside the appropriate appropriations for it, right?
For what, though? What would the money be used for?
Well, this is what he planned on doing. He wanted each school district to have like a committee that handles bullying situations immediately, because oftentimes what happens
like
is
a bullying Politburo, like where you have to go to, like, you have to go to council and like.
Well, and
so flack is clear. Filmmakers faces criticism over Bhopali's remark. So we are done with probe, investigate, we are done with dissent, that is a sort of protest or the disagreement, the flack that is criticism. अब देखते हैं अगला क्या है. Moving further, protest के बारे में हमने देखा. अब उसके बाद राहुल asked Haryana Congress leaders to stay no CBI to probe Kerala Bar Council fund case. So investigate again. CBI, obviously it's investigating. CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation. So it's going to investigate. Of course. Next we do have some advertisements, some inhibitors, and then we do have Islamophobia, India's complex position on Islamophobia here. Forging a social contract for data. Now what does forging means?
Forging, launching?
Not launching.
I think it's similar maybe to launching.
Let's see. Verb map, help us out. Forging. It's there for you. Say thank you. Oh, no, this is a different forging. This is not the forging that we're talking about. Shaping metal by heating or hammering, okay? But here they're talking about forging a social contract. Binding, okay? For data. Okay? Here now we'll see Yuglish, sorry, before that tenor. Forging. F-O-R-G-I-N-G. Now this is forging. That means shaping metal by heating and hammering, okay? So this is forging, forging, forging. They all are forging, hammering it, just shaping it after heating. They can shape it easily, okay? But not in the way forging the comically large spoon. Again, it's the same thing. All are forging like this. Let's see what Yuglish has to say. Almost 1,000 words it has. You're not going to go through all of them.
Yes, of course, we're not going to.
It drops the opposite. Now, forging is not explained here. Forging a child, again, it's not very clear. Forging entire worlds where instead of interacting. Well, let's see what it means. Forging is forges, forged. Make a shape that we see, create a relationship or new condition, or produce a copy or imitation. So there are three types. Create a relationship, here it's meaning create a relationship. That is what means. Or produce a copy or imitation.
And in the news?
In the news, forging a social contract for data. So maybe create a relationship, or forging a social contract for data, maybe produce a copy. But this is not sure shape of metal. Okay? And let's see what is here in this forging.
Forging entire worlds where instead of interacting with others, defect sense. Forging entire worlds where instead of interacting.
So it's saying forging entire worlds, and forging entire worlds over here, as just we saw. Create a relationship with a new condition, okay?
Forging entire worlds where
instead of interacting. I'll just
Are we gonna speak it?
Yeah.
Yes. Forging an entire worlds where instead of interacting.
Mistake, huh? Where instead of it, instead of interacting. A bit slow.
Forging an entire world where instead of it in.
Forging an entire worlds where instead of interacting.
Forging is almost fine. Next users will see. This one. Or that the generation comes up. Forging here, create a relationship. So forging is strong, creating.
Increase the odds that the generation coming up now will be more successful in forging strong and stable marriages than with the generation that came.
Forging those international partnership. Okay, let me speak this one.
Cornell and forging those international partnerships. Can you speak to that? Cornell and forging those international.
In forging those international partnerships. Can you speak to that?
Enforcing those international partnerships. Can I speak to that?
In forging those international partnerships. Can you speak to that? Okay. So, create a relationship. Create a relationship on your condition or produce a copy.
Mostly it's that one only.
Partnerships. Can you speak to that and what you see at
Create relationship or copy. Copy, imitate.
What is that? Create restate relationship.
Forging a social data. Now is okay?
Yes, now it's okay. I was thinking
Yeah.
first.
So this is done. Next one we will have Bengal's violent politics of area domination. The probe where CBI is their sign. So this is clear. Now coming to online voting for NRIs under consideration. Kiran Register said this. Okay, all the words are good. Opposition calls for law to regulate cryptocurrency. Still going on. So MP Moods plan to revive golden age of ancient India. And here we have more to go. At par. Treat Ayurvedic doctors at par with allopathic counterparts. Supreme Court says this. At par.
Treat Ayurvedic doctors same as?
Yes, same as.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. So we'll see.
What
At
dictionary
par.
have the same?
No, I don't have. Same as is almost correct, so we'll say at par over here. Oh, no, okay, it's at par.
I think the first one is relating same as.
Yeah, at par. And let's see here, at par.
Let's see what English has to say. At par.
Say it.
Let's say.
At par. With some carbon fiber composites. At par means same as.
Same
Okay,
as
carbon
with
fiber composites. We'll just see. It's a bit slow.
Already performing at par with some carbon fiber composites, right? There's a lot of upside to this.
It is 13, which is almost at par with.
Same as with white.
Same as with white native education and learning. At par with.
Let's check the meaning of at par in this.
Third generation, it is 13, which is almost at par with white native educational learning. I would refer. Third generation, it is.
Yes. It is 13, which is almost at par with white native education and learning. It is almost. I think it's right. It's really
Yes.
right.
Which is almost at par with white native education and learning.
Yes. It is 13, which is almost at par with white native education and learning.
Which is almost at par with white native educational learning. I would refer you to the work of Jennifer.
With almost same as, okay? No, leave it.
Okay.
We are running short of time. So treat Ayurvedic doctors at par with allopathic counterparts, says the
Same
Supreme
as.
Court. Okay. Next one. Udan gives girls wings to a better future in rural Rajasthan. Now what this ruler means?
Better future in ancient.
Rural is not ancient. It's a village, or it's very not urban. Urban is the opposite of rural. Rural means inside, interior.
Interior of.
Very much inside.
Inside, very much
Yeah.
inside of Rajasthan.
Yes, ruler. Let's just see from here. Rural. R-U-R-A-L.
Oh, what's there?
Living in or characteristic of farming or country life. Country life जैसे कि गांव घर में रहते हैं उसको हम rural कहते हैं. ठीक है? So rural people, large rural households. Of or relating to the countryside as opposite to the city. Urban is the opposite of it. So here, Udan gives girl wings to a better future in rural Rajasthan. Means inside or the interior, the countryside where the farming is done. So there is a scheme, maybe Udan, which is giving girls wings to a better future. Okay, so this is there. We will just see this with the tenor, but by the right time, no, here let it go find and rural. R-U-R-A-L. Let's see what animated GIF has to say. Oh, this is farm, isn't it?
Yes, the first one is also.
Yeah, so this is countryside. This is rural. All are rural. Okay, and let's see urban, the opposite of it. U-R-B-A-N. And you can see tall buildings and all coming in. See tall buildings and all coming in the urban. Okay, so these are urban. These are tall buildings and all urban, not the rulers. Okay, now coming to this one, still searching. Fast.
Oh, you have to do it fast.
Come on, fast. How to pronounce rural? Fast. You're slow. We are very fast. We are not rural. We are urban.
Yeah, we are urban. We can speak Latin and also
Yeah.
speak.
And jigras are often used in rural countries like Afghanistan. So there are countries that's also termed as rural.
Oh, it's like countryside.
Yeah, rural living or characters of farming or a country life. Okay, now Dubai and Abu Dhabi, they are not rural.
They're urban.
They are urban.
And jurors are often used in rural countries like Afghanistan, where there's deep-seated resentment against the.
It can be used to monitor hearts of patients in remote rural areas. The same thing, ruler in living in characters countryside.
Rather than
Let's see the uses.
It can be used.
It can be used to monitor the hearts of patients in remote rural areas. The data.
Difficult. Delivering places from rural Tanzania.
Deliberately in places from rural Tanzania to the.
Okay, so this is there. Moving further. So it's countryside, remote.
Are we not going to do SSP?
Not right now. We will be not doing it for all the words. Okay, so this is done. Next, going down, 3. Extra attempt for UPSC exam not feasible, says the government. Not feasible means what?
Extra attempt for UPSC exam not given.
Not given is not the one.
Visible, maybe.
No.
It's the.
Feasible is not possible.
Oh, not possible.
Okay, we'll see here.
Visible and visible are
Feasible.
rhyming
Not
words.
likely. Capable of being done with means at hand or circumstances as they are. It cannot be done. Okay, it's very difficult. So executable. It's not practical. It's not viable. It's not workable. So here, as it says, extra attempts for UPSC exams are not viable, not workable in the given set of conditions, capable of being done with the means of hand or circumstances. Okay, so here we saw feasible. Meantime, and let's see what Tina has to say. Make it possible.
Impossible.
ASAP, as soon as possible. Feasible.
Yes.
Impossible.
Impossible.
Okay, so this is what feasible is, and what Euclid has to say about feasible.
Fast, fast. Come on, say it.
Euclid is taking a lot of time, else we would have been almost back, but Euclid is again a good one.
Buttons are not activated. But recent advances
May take them feasible again. Likely, probable, or possible, okay? Likely.
Experiment, but recent advances may make them feasible again. Experiment, but recent
Say.
But recent advances may make them feasible again. Advances is kind of
But recent advances may make them visible again.
It's feasible.
It's feasible.
Okay, let me see whether you researched it properly.
But recent advances may make them feasible again.
Yeah, Elsa is not reading it properly. It's feasible, okay? Let him say.
advances may make them feasible again. Research.
Okay. And visible is something that you see.
Yeah.
However, we know for some people that's not feasible, that's not possible, that's not likely.
However, we know for some people that's not feasible. And it's for that reason that the Virginia Tech...
However, we know for some people that's not feasible, and it's for that reason that they right.
Yes. However, it's right.
Feasible, yeah, right.
However, we know for some people that's not feasible, and it's for that reason that they.
However, we know for some people that's not feasible, and it's for that reason that they. So, hope it's clear. Likely or possible. Okay. Likely, possible. Extra attempt for UPSC exam, not likely, not possible. Okay, say the government. Next, moving. Quote to hear Tushar Gandhi's plea on ashram. Now, what do you mean by this plea?
Go to hear Tushar Gandhi's speech.
Speech. Let's see. Plea.
Let's see what it is.
Now, it's an answer indicating why a suit should be dismissed. Now, that's from, from the legal aspect. Law. A defendant answer by a factual matter. An answer, okay, by some fact. A humble request to help from somebody in the authority. It's a request. What are you requesting?
I'm not requesting.
Plea. Oh. Okay, so it's a defendant answer by a fact manner, or it's a humble request. Let's see. Plea over here. Say it.
And plea.
And plea meantime in here.
Yeah.
It's searching almost 2000, and let's see.
Please a half word of please.
Plea.
That's kind of like that.
Oh, please. Clear. So it's a humble request.
Okay.
Okay. Please. Let's see the plea. It's from the law. So most of the words are from the law that will be coming over here.
Yeah.
As said. Yuglish, you're very slow.
Look, I'm not making any special plea because it's just reality. but everyone.
I'm not making any special request. I'm not making any special answer indicating why a suit should be discussed. But I'm telling that is something that is not there. Okay?
And look, I mean, I'm not making any special plea because it's just a reality, but every recent study has shown that.
It's a reality only. I'm not making a request. I'm not going to give some facts regarding it. It's all well understood. And what happened? Plead with God to pick me up.
Trying to plead with God to pick me up from out of this hole. I
humble request God. A plea for the Queen's English.
By Henry.
You just can't just be a purely emotional plea or argument.
You can't just have a purely emotional plea or argument. That'll get you so far, but you have to back it up with that logic so that that buyer, once that buyer.
I'll say this.
You can't just have.
You can't just have a purely emotional plea or argument. If I'm right, yeah.
You can't just have a purely emotional plea or argument.
You can't just have a purely emotional plea or argument. Are you saying?
Echo could not only conjure with a plea for him to do so.
A claim, circumstance, or a request that one should not be blamed for. A claim that a circumstance means that one should not be blamed for. So it would be some.
Can't stay. Echo could only counter with a plea for him to do so, freeing himself from her embrace.
But for something that it can be blamed for, that is another meaning of the word plea. Got it? So hope we are done with the word plea. Request or provide factual request. That's done. Now next one is this. Read.
SC reserves verdict on review plea in case against Sindhu.
So again a review plea.
Yes.
Okay, in case against Sidhu. So Supreme Court reserves verdict. Now does it mean a verdict?
Yes, verdict. What does verdict mean, sir?
Reserves verdict. SC is telling wait on review plea. Sidhu made some review request. Please request this particular thing. SC reserves verdict.
Okay.
Okay, Sidhu had asked to consider this one also. Now Supreme Court is telling reserve. Wait.
Yeah.
What verdict means? What verdict means?
Verdict means to. Don't have much idea.
Okay, verdict. Let's see. Word map. Verdict. Come here. Finding of fact. Reserves verdict. The finding of a jury on issues, facts submitted to a decision. Means I'm not going to tell it's right or wrong what you have asked for. Wait. I will give my verdict, my judgment, my answer once enough evidences are available with us. Okay, so verdict is that one. It's a finding a jury on issue, the facts submitted. Say finally, yes, it's right, wrong, this or that. The final answer. Wait, verdict is the final. So we'll see from here also verdict. And this one, verdict. Excellent. Okay, that's an answer. Final verdict is coming. English network I think is very slow. Well, it's a good job, 1 out of 2000, but network is slow. So what's the verdict? What's the answer?
Yeah.
Guilty, says the court. What's the verdict? What happened to the case?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the words for the verdict. So enough for it? We'll see. So verdict. An opinion or judgment. Okay?
Yes.
A decision of a disputed thing.
Yes.
The verdict might end up hinging on smaller issues, though. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers, for example, spent a lot of time asking about. The verdict might end up hinging on smaller issues, though. The verdict might end up hinging on smaller issues, though. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers.
Sleeping or what?
Monitoring. I did have the opportunity to try a case to a jury verdict in the box monitoring. I did have the opportunity to try a case to a jury verdict in monitoring. I did have the opportunity to try.
A jury is a group of people who decide give the judgment verdict. Okay, so that is there. We'll just stop it over here for the verdict. Let's see the way she speaks verdict.
A jury is the group of people who decide the verdict in a court. So the judge.
Now you say. Say.
A jury is the group of people who decide the verdict. Oh, verdict is correct.
A jury is the group of people who decide the verdict.
A jury is the group of people who decide the verdict.
So that's done. This is done. An opinion or judgment. So here, Supreme Court reserves the verdict.
Yes.
Supreme Court, the jury, okay?
Yeah.
Once review clear in case of Sidhu. Now another one. College principal quits over hijab controversy. So he quits means?
He gets out of it.
Yes, he goes away, he quits, he resigns. So, controversy. What do you mean by controversy?
News?
Controversy is not a news.
Over the hijab.
Controversy.
Case?
It's something like dissent, protest, disagreement. So controversy, something that is not with controversial. Some people say it's right, some people say it's wrong. So that's a controversy. There's a disagreement, dissent among the people based on their opinion against or opinion for it.
Yes.
Controversy. So, it's a continuous speech act, a dispute where there is a strong disagreement, arguing, a contention. I don't accept this one, I do have a different opinion. Something which sleep.
Sleep?
They want.
No.
Sleep is not a controversial subject, but there are subjects which are controversial, like Kashmir. It's a controversial, people make them, okay? Like Ukraine. Now, what should be the issues debated? So that is controversy, okay? So let's see, I've already controversy here. That's wrong.
And then now.
Controversy 6880. Controversy, you should say it's very fragile issue. Fragile means very delicate. Careful it needs to. That's also controversial, pretty controversial. That's not so simple. It's people tend to have different opinion about all these huge controversy, why you are backing them, why you are going away, or controversy, as controversial as it sounds. So that's what means. Got it?
Yes.
Now English again, back. A big controversy.
In study.
Disagreement, as I said, with the word dissent. Okay? Meantime, I'll do this work. A big controversy in the study of languages was initiated by Noam Chomsky.
A big controversy in the study of language was initiated by Noam Chomsky, who was perhaps the leading linguist of the 20th century.
Apprentice and shunned over the controversy.
Over the death of an apprentice and shunned over the controversy. Britain
again avoided anything to do with controversy within Northern Ireland, with the notion that there were divisions.
See how Elsa speaks.
Lucky to not have been interested in any book or author that has started controversy. So I'm lucky to
not have been interested in any book or author that has started controversy.
Started controversy.
Lucky to not have been interested in any book or author that has started controversy.
Lucky to not have been interested in any book or author that has started controversy.
Okay, so that's done. Next is done. Fuel prices hiking. Chhattisgarh man carries daughter body for 10 kilometers. And US allies plan to turn off Russian gas. Okay, now what do you mean by allies or allies? What is it? Allies or allies?
Allies.
Allies, okay. What do you mean by this?
Groups.
Groups, yeah, the partner groups.
United States groups.
So, an alliance of nations joining together. Okay, in World War I there were alliances, the World War I, World War II there were the alliances, so it's an alliance, a partner, a group. Okay, we'll see here.
Gender.
$17,000. Most of the time is taken by the English. Now, tenor, allies, together, group. We have an alliance, they both are together, okay? So we have an alliance, they both are together.
We are together.
Expedite visas for God, no, this is not. So I would want as many allies as I could get. I want so many partners. Yeah, we are the allies. How did you know? We are together, okay? Partners. So this is what allies is. Oh, English fast. By the special interest and their allies in Washington. Now let's see how they say. Allies, or what? What?
Allies.
Fast, whatever. How many of them left?
So many. At least
Allies.
there are
Partner, coalition, not
11
coalitions.
of them left.
Is it? No. It's too much. It's 11. A person or organization that cooperates in a particular activity. ठीक है? Formally cooperating together. Oh, there are too much left here.
Yes.
US allies means
US
and its countries, the country nations, plans to turn off Russian gas. Okay, US and their cooperation.
Returned by the special interests and their allies in Washington. So, year after.
When there are other democratic allies, not allies. Okay.
When there are these other democratic allies in other regions of the world, that's
Wait, sometime our allies.
Way sometimes our allies. Part of it.
So some information, some ideas feel like our allies, and we want them to win.
Okay.
So some information, some ideas.
So some information, some ideas feel like our allies. Hope I'm right.
So some information, some ideas feel like our allies.
So some information, some ideas feel like our allies.
We're not going to turn our back to our allies.
In Europe, you can say.
Donor banks to our allies in Europe.
The China banks to our allies in Europe.
To donor banks to our allies in Europe. To donor banks to our allies in Europe.
Okay, so this is done. For moving further.
Aid.
Biden lands in Poland with aid on agenda. Okay, with aid means financial assistance. Okay, that is aid, help. Aid, we'll do a bit faster now. AID, aid.
Is it not success?
No, it's not success.
Okay.
Improve, help, the activity of contributing to the fulfillment, the person or things that are so aid. Okay, it is fast. We'll just move aid. Contribute, help. Okay, we'll move a bit fast.
Okay. This is so much fast.
Now Sri Lanka is set up.
Here. Sri Lanka is set up
to set up special Northeast Fund. What is fund?
That means money.
Okay, so that's done. Fund.
Okay, I said it full right.
Yeah, it's a set of fund
Investment?
in that, not investment.
Okay, money.
In that regard, say what it has to say. FUND fund.
Let's see what I'm saying is correct.
It's a stock store. Okay.
Stock.
Monetary fund, a reserve of money set aside for some purpose. What it invests money in government security, so that is fund. Money, aid. Or
Fund means
a reserve of money. Reserve.
yes. Black.
Next one. Sri Lankan Daily Hall's Weekend Edition.
Means print.
No, Sri Lankan daily print and but
It's
yeah,
like newspaper.
yes, like newspaper, yeah, but Sri Lankan daily halts weekend edition.
No.
Well, it stops. Halt.
What does it mean?
Stop.
Stop.
Yes.
Oh my god, there's so many.
Stop. Come to a halt. Come to a stop. Cause to stop. An interruption. An event of ending. Okay, so that is halt. So Sri Lankan daily halt. Let's see halt here. Stop. Hey, cheer, come.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stop. Please. Scream. Halt doesn't mean to scream or shout. Halt. Stop. Wait. Wherever you are.
Please mute.
Please stop. Please stop.
Halt.
Halt. Stop. Mute. Halt. Okay.
Stop.
So that is. So the newspaper says Sri Lankan daily stop the weekend edition. Weekend edition means on the Saturdays and Sundays the newspaper there are some special editions. So Sri Lankan daily says no weekend editions, no. So it stops it.
Why?
Okay. Sri Lanka, we need to look the entire
Yeah.
story over here. We are just looking into the cover histories.
Yeah.
The race to build the world's tallest skyscraper grinded to a halt.
Just stop.
Stop.
Cause to a stop.
The race to build the world's tallest skyscraper grinded to a halt. Each new
So that is. So stop. Shall we stop?
No, we have to complete it.
To complete it, okay. So 14, halt's done. Next scene.
Shall we halt?
No. Hey, she's also telling to stop. Fuel prices rising on Ukraine flick. No, no, no. Let me give the justification. It's not because of something, but because of the Ukraine conflict. She's telling. So she's not telling stop. Our finance minister, Nirmala Sitharaman.
Okay.
Okay, and then Sinopec said to pause Russia projects
Bending vary.
of sanctions. Vary.
So vary.
Vary.
Let's search it in the world map also.
Say vary.
Vary.
Beijing is
A
vary.
country. Beijing is a country.
China is a country. Beijing is a Beijing is a
Yeah.
capital, not Beijing. Beijing.
Beijing.
Vary of sanctions. Fast.
Beijing vary sanctions. Stop.
No, not stop. Thou may be afraid or may be doubtful. Openly distrustful and willing to confide. Okay?
So
and
what
hiding it. Okay?
So
Or
he's
marked by
hiding.
keen caution and watchful prudence. So vary is this. Sinopec said to pause Russian projects, pleasing. It's not hiding, it's vary, it's afraid, it's a bit more doubtful something is going to happen. So
Of the sanctions.
China is wary of the sanctions, okay?
Okay. Mostly the Beijing.
Yeah, so Sinopec is an oil and gas company in China and said to pause Russia projects. Company saying to pause the Russian projects. And Beijing wary of sanctions. The Chinese capital means China is very a bit doubtful and is openly disapproved.
And it's something we should be deeply wary of. So many times in the Quran we see a strong condemnation of just following that which is popular. قُلْ لَا يَسْتَوِي الْخَبِيثُ وَالطَّيِّبُ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَكَ كَثْرَةُ الْخَبِيثِ. Good and evil are not equal, even though you may be dazzled by the abundance of evil. And of course, وَإِن تُطِعْ أَكْثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يُضِلُّوكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. If you were to obey most of those on earth, the popular masses, they would lead you away from Allah's way. And this couldn't be more pertinent and important than it is today. I mean, today, in the age of feeling,
And I would say that our age is the age of feeling.
where people's unrestrained desires and feelings define.
Okay, now of things that authors will vary, okay? So that's it. I think we can leave this for rest.
Yes.
Okay?
This year, one of the things that the authors were very wary about was
So I think it's enough for today. We have taken a long list, but still it's good to have. I'll just hide this. It's gone. So 15. Yeah, 15 is a good number, and we have just halted at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay? So these many words: the probe, descent, flak, forging, at par, ruler, and visible.
Can I
These
tell
are
my
not.
favorite word?
These are not new to you now anymore. Okay. So probe, flak, descent. Yeah. Say, what do you mean by this?
Probe.
Yes.
Probe means to investigate.
Okay.
Descent means to descent. Can you show the sentences?
Also the sentences over here at the top.
Okay.
Probe is investigate. Descent, not an agreeing, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Disagreeing.
Disagreeing.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Flak.
To protest.
Flak. Yes. Over here. Criticism.
Oh, criticism.
Forging.
Forging. It's
Forging data, combining other
Yeah,
for the
combine.
relationship.
relationship.
Echoes of dissent. Filmmakers faces criticism and combining data into the editorial section of today's newspaper.
Yeah, with a lock sign.
Yes, with a lock sign. C. Forging a social contract for data.
Yes.
And at par.
The assay math.
Rural.
Ruler
Is.
ruler is. Oh my god.
Inside, interior.
Inside the.
At par.
At par.
Is done. Ruler. Rajasthan.
Inside the Rajasthan.
Visible.
Oh, visible. Visible is.
It's not. Something is not. Read the sentence.
Visible.
Read the sentence.
Yeah. Extra attempt for UPSC exam is not possible.
Yes. Read this one.
Yeah. Court to hear Tushar Gandhi's pleas on ashram. SC reserves verdict on review plea in case of against Sindhu.
What does it mean? Verdict.
Verdict means SC reserves the
Judgment. Final call.
college principal quits on over hijab controversy. Means the thing that it's been taught. Quits, I remember, but
Opinion. Two different
opinions.
Okay.
Mostly like disagreement.
Yes.
US allies plan to turn off Russian gas. So US groups of countries.
Yes.
Then aid is to help. Fund is money. Halts is to stop.
Yes.
That we have done right now.
That is done right now.
And bending very. To worry.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's all.
that's
So that's all. Sorry that we couldn't continue more. We got some activities further, but 15 words for the today's newspaper on the Hindu. I think it's good to go. 26th March, Saturday.
Yes.
Okay?
2022.
Yeah, okay.